I was saying that's what it's all about, innit? You've got to keep your hand in.
Well, that's what Prince Andrew said, wasn't it? I don't know how true that is.
That's
I didn't know.
We're on.
We're on. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good afternoon. It's another Friday.
Hi.
Chatmoss. Right, first of all, before we start with our talking to our guest, and he is a guest, we will just a few things. It's Chinese New Year this weekend, is it?
Kung Hei Fat Choi.
Yeah.
Sun Ni Vai Lo. I see Dao Loi. I've just said Happy New Year.
Yeah.
And what have you got for me? And you're normally given a red envelope.
There we go.
And it's got to be paper money. And if there's 4 kids, it costs you 20 quid to wish them Happy New Year. Let's stick to the English one, where you give them nothing.
Well, traditions are best, Fred.
That's right.
Tomorrow we're at Agecroft, I believe, Carl.
Yeah.
Filming the Miners Memorial Stone. Will you be there?
I will, now that I know you're going, because my missus does all the cutting of the grass there.
Yeah.
And Alex Channon's a big noise.
Them scissors are getting a bit thin on it though.
Is Del coming tomorrow, Del Channon?
I should imagine he will be. And John.
What time are we getting there?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock at the Agecroft Monument.
That's the one. Sunday though, the big one, we're at Old Trafford, filming the Munich Memorial tragedy.
February the 6th, 1958.
3 minutes past 3. Yeah.
2 of my mates survived that, and I went on to drink loads of beer. That's
Albert
Albert Scanlon and
Blancheflower.
Jackie Blancheflower.
Yeah,
Great guys. No edge on them.
We'll get back to Munich in a little while.
Yeah.
We put a little post up about your birthday.
Oh, yeah, you did?
Yeah, 8,000 views.
I didn't know I was that well known.
I didn't know you had that much money out. I like it. You'd have had a job answering all them, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I did do.
I don't think you
I was I did a load what I could, but what people normally do is wait while they're all finished and thank you all. I don't think that's worthy. I think you should thank everybody, even if it's only a like.
I do. But more of the point, me and Cal got you something for your birthday. We'll give it now. I took the security tags off it.
Oh, Jora, one of my favourites. Good lad, a nice malt that. Thank you. Right. Should we open it?
Why not?
Oh, no, don't open it. We drank it and it's just tea in there.
Right,
just for
Glenn
show.
Kennedy, the old chum who was on last week, the historian.
Ah, pal.
He's done a fabulous job on
Genealogist, not historian.
He's both.
That's what he is, really.
So, man. Anyway, he's had these specially made.
Let the world know about Fanny Fielder, though, didn't he? I've not lived that down. Everyone's taking the rip out of me because he had a great aunt who was a prostitute. Fred and Flynny. Hey, let's have a look at one of them.
Wait a minute.
Oh, it's no good.
Bring it a bit closer.
Look at that. It's right-handed, and who's going to get the name? Carl. We'd have to do it left-handed for the Fred and Flynny bit to be shown, wouldn't we?
That's yours.
Thank you. Thanks, Glenn.
You're a good lad, Ben. You really are. As I say, he's had 5 done. One for me, one for you, one for Carlikins.
Yeah.
Now we've got 2 spare, and I was mulling over the idea, mooting, of instead of giving us like competition prizes, like how many pints of Fred drink a day, something like that. We'll have someone who's done a good thing in the community. But
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A crusader.
Yeah, someone's helped out of a food bank or a school, or they've done some community work, something decent. If you think of anyone, let us know, and we will kindly and gladly even present them with a mug.
Yeah, nominate them.
You know, you can't buy these. Well, we just have, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Bound to increase in value then. Bound to. Knocking back.
Thanks, Glenn.
Anyway, moving swift. You got a cake there as well.
Oh, yes. Yesterday, Susan Muir, now Susan Murphy, and Alan Murphy, not seen them for 60 years, and they came in yesterday.
No, your money.
And they brought me that cake there. And there's a fizzer that goes on top. And I was going to cut it open today and share it with our special guest, Flynny and Carl. And then I thought to myself, Sodom. And the reason why, I've been to the dentist on Liverpool Road. I thought I was only going for 14.
Me, John and Carl have been to the dentist. There's not wrong with our Newtons.
I know, but it'd be a shame if I was to miss out. And it's my birthday. So, can you close it? Can you see the bruises here? Come on, come and have a look at these. Come on, I don't mind it. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. DeMille. See them there. Bruising on my jaw, drilling into my jaw. I thought I was only going in for an extraction. He ends up putting, Gaffy's name is the dentist.
You're not getting any sympathy.
He ends up putting 4 implants for me and I'm in the chair shaking. And I said, I'm sorry about that, that's the COVID-19. He said, no, it's not. It's a combination of that and all the adrenaline. 14 injections I had to keep my mouth numb. And I couldn't speak on Tuesday when he was doing
Blessing, it was a blessing.
But I'm alright now, I'm getting there, but I've no bottom teeth in, so if any of my old girlfriends are watching and you like a love suck, give me a shout and I'll give you one right in your neck here.
All you ladies in the nursing home, you know you're talking to.
Hey, there would be at all. So go on.
Okay.
What, are we giving them a quiz question as well? Just for fun then, just for fun.
Then, give 'em.
Whose was this telephone number? 634 5789. Ring in now. It's just for fun.
They might be phoning it.
Oh, well, they can phone it if they want.
I hope they do.
Oh, they do, but 634 5789.
You know it, John?
Who was that phone number?
I don't know.
Right, let's get on with the show, as we laughingly refer to it.
Yeah.
Guest of honour, and I'm really pleased to see this man. I've known him a good few years. A lovely man. Eternally youthful.
Yeah.
He must have a picture in the attic of
Yeah.
somewhere. You never aged, do you, John? It's
well.
John Blackburn, the Salford Red Devils.
Here's
Salford
Johnny!
Legend. John, thanks for coming, mate.
No problem at all, and thanks for asking me.
We didn't really want to do it because you've still got a full head of hair and you'd make me and Flynny look a bit daft, but we thought, sorry, didn't we?
Yeah, we're making that.
Yeah.
And he's brought quite a few
Memorabilia
it's
pieces.
outstanding pieces of memorabilia from Salford Rugby Club's history. He's going to kindly talk us through some of them. John, first one, how long have you been associated with Salford Red Devils then?
Well, my first game I ever watched was at the Willows when I was 8 years of age. I remember going down with mates on our bikes. And
20 years ago.
we sneaked in 3/4 time. They used to open the gates and you'd all go in. I still remember it. It was Bradford reserve team.
Yeah.
That is
But they weren't the Bulls then.
1958. Not Bradford. Barrow. Barrow it was. Yeah.
In fairness.
Yeah.
Flynny used to
wasn't
go
a while
over,
ago,
over the wall. He used to go up the cricket
and,
wall.
Cricket and me. Oh.
Yeah, honest he did. Not
Yeah.
pulling your leg. He sneaked
I'll be
in.
honest.
Well, at one time, people
can't
used to
be
sneak
anything.
out in the bad days, didn't they? You know?
I tell you, honestly, John, I was thinking the other night when you were coming on. We used to live in Hankey Park originally, and we went to the Willows now and again. But when we moved to Tootle Drive under the so-called slum clearance, we used to go to the Willows most Fridays, and I've seen some cracking games. I was there for when they had the floodlights turned on.
Yeah.
When Watkins made his debut the day before my birthday.
Dave Watkins.
I've seen when they had an anniversary match. Did they play like a red and black stripe top Salford? Was that against a French team?
They played in many different tops. In our kind of memorabilia store, we've got probably 40 different shirts, to be honest, over the last few years.
This would be the late 70s, I'd have thought.
Well, you mentioned the floodlights being open. I should have brought some memorabilia we have got. It's a poster of the first floodlight match at the Willows, which I remember as a kid peeling off the wall at Kennedy Road there. I've still got
What
it.
year was that though? You were about 75,
74, 75, yeah. Floodlight
You
copy
remember
was
peeling
on.
off as a kid?
Pardon?
You remember peeling off as a kid? He was 35.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It was a
were,
late
you never
developer.
aged.
It was a...
Yeah, he's got also the turnstile from Salford City Reds, the one with the foot pedal that you click and the kids go through and that. And I asked him to give it us, and do you know what he said? No.
I don't blame him.
Well,
You got a good turn, didn't you? But I wouldn't do it for you, mate.
yeah, you've never done anyone a good turn. John and I go back a lot of years because I used to do the commentary at Salford City Reds and the crowd pleasing and what's the thing, the match entertainment, hospitality up there. And on one particular day, we were in the Riley suite. Harold Riley was a big Salford Reds fan, wasn't he? And John Wilkinson, the then Mr. Chairman, said to me, Fred, would you announce that John Wilkinson's going to paint the west, what's it called, the stand he was going to paint? The one where the parachutist got hung
The
up.
North Stand.
The North Stand. He said, will you announce that he's going to do the North Stand? I said, certainly, John. So I said over the mic to the crowd, ladies and gentlemen, an important announcement here that local artist Harold Riley has volunteered to paint the North Stand with a view to auctioning and raising a few quid for the Salford City Reds. So after that I said, and not only that, John, I don't mind telling you that he told me, Harold Riley, don't do it on your own, mate. I've got a 4-inch brush and a paint scraper. I'll do it. I'll do it. I had a complaint from a woman in the crowd. She come and saw me. She said, how dare you besmirch the name of Harold Riley? So I just looked at her and repartee, quick as a flash, I said, get lost.
She gave you your brush off though, didn't she, as well?
She did, but Harold Riley even said to me, I had to chortle out that Fred. He said, I had to chortle. He was alright, Harold.
He left
Good
him a
man.
bad distemper.
Gorgeous looking wife. Gorgeous
Iranian.
wife. Yeah, have you seen her? Oh, John.
Been to the house.
Have you?
Been around me, Fred.
You have been around, there's no doubt
been
about
in
that.
houses you won't believe.
You've
Sometimes
been there,
the owners have been in.
You were at
No one
St
was in at
Luke's.
the time, though, was it? To be honest.
You were at St Luke's Clinic a lot of the time, weren't you?
St Luke's School. John, this magnificent trophy, tell us about it.
I was a bit upset you've all got cups and I didn't get one, so I actually brought my own cup.
Hey, Link.
And this is the replica of the Challenge Cup that was presented to Salford in 1938
Yeah.
when we went to Wembley and won the Challenge Cup. It's a solid silver cup. It was made by well-known silversmiths Fattorinis
Of Birmingham.
Birmingham.
They made my MBE medal, Fattorini.
Oh, here we go.
They were in London at the time.
You were.
But I mean, it's a valued kind of memorabilia at the club.
Yeah.
It is worth a lot of money to be honest as well.
Of course, I should imagine.
The thing is, we need a museum. We do need. We've just completed our museum at Odsall Hall. We was there for 3 months with a heritage lottery grant we got. But we need somewhere permanent. We've had 3 now over the last 20 years. One at Event City, which it is now. It was Museum of Museums then. We've had one in the stadium, which we've now moved out. I work for the foundation now, and we're based at Eccles College. So we used to have a museum at the stadium. That has now gone. So we're now looking for a venue where.
Do you know where would be an excellent venue?
Where?
Salford Royal Hospital. They've got plenty of space there, but if they just had one room dedicated to the Salford City Reds, I mean, it goes hand in glove, doesn't it?
Well, we used to play for the Hospital Cup. There.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was played.
exactly.
I believe that's still there in a cupboard somewhere. I know someone who worked there, and they said they've seen it at the Hospital Cups there, but
Really.
Fabulous.
whether it could be in a hospital, I don't know. But anyone out there who has got space that they think we could use as a museum, please contact us.
It's not a controversial one, John. What about the Bewley Park Mansion? Wasn't the talk of that a while back?
Yeah.
Well, we tried for that. I actually put a bid in. I spent 2.5 years trying to get off the ground. A lot of work went into it. We actually got a Heritage Lottery grant of 1.4 million.
Right.
We was also guaranteed £1 million sponsorship deal from a local builder.
Yeah.
So we had 2.4 million. We had that there in our hand, and it needed 4 million. We got an £8,000 grant to do a structural survey. We surveyed it, drawings. It worked out it was going to cost up to £5 million.
Oh.
So we was it's great to have 2.4 million, but
Yeah,
we're still
but better if you got
2.4 away.
You
So
got it.
it actually fell apart from that.
Should have went with
unfortunately.
Shirley Bradshaw. She'd have subsidised it.
So
Yeah.
close so far.
It was so close, yeah. The idea was it's there's a lot of work needs doing. There's a lot of dry rot.
Yeah,
but
they started work on it now, haven't
They have started working out of the Bewley Park Association. Yeah.
Do you think it'd be feasible you ever went there? Or?
Well, I mean, the plan is for it to be a community venue
Yeah.
and space for an exhibition. So it is feasible that we could put our exhibition there, because the history of Salford Rugby League.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you look back right in the history, William Webb Ellis, the guy who invented rugby, if you will, picked the ball up
And ran with it.
Salford lad.
It's Salford lad. We've actually got the record of him baptism at Sacred Trinity Church in
Andy Salmon.
Andy Salmon, the director there. Yeah,
That was at rugby school, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah.
Is that why it got its name? Just because of the school?
Yeah.
He had a harrowing time at Eton.
And was it down near Warwickshire? Was it rugby down?
Rugby,
Yeah.
Nuneaton, mate, I think, isn't it?
Near Birmingham.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
I told him that before. He was insisted it was London.
John, what else have you brought to show us?
Well, going back, I've got so much. We really do need somewhere to show all this for the fans.
I assume this is stored somewhere confidential in private and
It is, yeah.
secure.
What we had as
More
well,
than
we
one.
had a Heritage Lottery grant recently, and for the last 3 months up to Christmas, we was in Odsall Hall and had an exhibition.
Yeah.
It was originally going to be Salford Reds, and it's linked to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Ideal spot there, the World Cup finals at Old Trafford. We thought Odsall Hall,
Yeah.
right by it. COVID, Australia, New Zealand pulled out, so
Yeah.
it was cancelled.
Sure.
But we spent so much work putting it together, we actually put the museum, the exhibition on at the Odsall Hall for 3 months, just the history of Salford Reds.
Guy Fawkes Street.
Yeah,
Was it
yeah,
popular?
that was it was popular. Apparently, the Odsall Hall told us it increased footfall by 40%.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
you
good, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Different
Still a lot of
clientele as
people,
well.
still a lot of followers, especially in the old school, you know.
Oh
Still,
yeah.
still
yeah.
interested. Like
Yeah.
we talked before about David Watkin and Colin Dixon. You and I were both at Wembley in '69, both expecting a win with Castleford. Sadly not to happen. The time before that was 1938.
93rd, hence when we won this.
Yeah, yeah.
What we have here then, which kind of fills in with that.
Oh, I'm going to get engaged. There's a ring coming here.
No, it's
Your
not.
ears
It's a
will
programme.
All right.
Salford have actually been to Wembley 4 times now. We only won it once, unfortunately.
Oh.
Was it 1918? No, 14.
1938.
Was it there in 14 for the another?
No, war was
Another
on then,
cold.
Flynny.
A war
We were
broke
in a
out.
world war then.
There was a rugby.
It was the
Salford-
championship finals and that. We didn't go to Wembley then. No.
Okay.
That's a 38 programme when we won the game.
Final tie of the Rugby League Challenge Cup competition at the Empire Stadium, Wembley.
Empire Stadium.
They should have kept that. Wembley was a great institution. Those 2 pillars,
We got
fantastic.
39 as well. We went the following year.
Yeah.
Final tie. Salford v Halifax.
We then waited a long, long time before we went. Fred and myself went.
Yeah, we did.
1969
Yeah.
against Cass.
Got robbed. We
Yeah.
got robbed. A try, I do believe.
Went to Wembley and spent the night in a Whiskey A Go Go in Wardour Street. Yeah.
And then last year, but one in 20, we went to Wembley again. 50 years later, none of the fans could go.
Yeah.
I think we're the
Oh,
first
yeah.
rugby league team to go to Wembley and
Without-
lose money.
Yeah.
Ah.
Sad that.
I was privileged to get a ticket, but it was a surreal experience to be sat in Wembley Stadium with 100 people. It was
I know. It's
not
ghostly.
what it should have been,
No.
but nevertheless enjoyable. So I've gone back and tried to bring up some of the older stuff we got in our kind of archives. This season ticket, good quality if you look at it.
Yes.
It is 1885-86 season.
Wow.
Is it? I thought 130, 137 years old or something. 85.
So what year was the club formed, John?
Well, it was formed. It was originally formed. You're going to spot me now. It was formed as a Sunday school in Hume. No, I'm from Claremont. But
Right, ask anyone from Oom, they'll tell you, don't say Hume, it's Oom.
And then it developed over the years. In 4 grounds within Salford in the 1870s. Finally, what I associate with Salford is the Willows,
Yeah.
which we talk about.
Sure.
Was there? We moved there in 1911.
Right.
We used to be at New Barns prior to that, which
Yeah.
is, I don't know if you know where Batley's supermarket
Yeah,
near Salford Keys. That was the pitch there to New
The
Barns.
Salford Racecourse wasn't
Yeah,
it?
there's a race course
yeah.
there as well. Yeah. So we was they went to the Willows in 1911. Stayed there till 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Moved to AJ Bell. History moves on.
I know, Flynny always had a theory that the best place to have had that was at West One, that's now got range on it. And
When we
all that.
moved,
Yeah, to have built the field there.
Mm.
To have built the club there because it's central links for trams and trains and everything.
Yeah, it's an ideal spot. It's not about finance, I'm afraid, isn't
I
it?
know,
You know,
Yeah.
you know,
Wiser
like all sport, you need
money.
someone
You
with
mentioned
money.
Bewley Park before. Not only were you there with your 5 million, John Wilkinson always had a dream of doing something at Bewley.
He tried to make it into a hotel,
Yeah.
but it was put down because the local residents didn't want a hotel in the park. It's a public park. Should there be a hotel in there? We had a similar situation when we got the money. We was asked by the council to work with a development company. And they was going to build in a small part of the park, it was like the old depot,
Yeah.
35 townhouses there, which would have made the money up for the mansion.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, it was turned down. It was deemed it shouldn't be houses in a
Yeah, I agree
public
with that.
park.
Public park,
I mean, Bewley Park originally was the Lord Mayor of Manchester's house.
Yeah.
It passed over to Salford. And
But better to have an hotel there than a dilapidated ruin that nobody wants to throw any money at.
I suppose there's different ways of looking at it, isn't there? I mean, yeah, it would have made it safe. You wouldn't walk around there at night. The lighting's not good enough. But with a hotel there, people about, it would have kind of opened it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But as I say, there's many different.
I've done many a gig there at Bewley, many, with Pat Tyson and all the rugby lads that, you know, Pat.
Is that why it closed down? Oh.
Yeah.
Could that be related?
Done loads of, and I met Jo there at, what's it, Bewley, when she was
The
running.
banqueting suite.
Yeah, she was then the commissioner for the PCT at St James's House in Pendleton, and they asked me what I do. Said, will you get up and do a 10-minute chat on Salford? I said, no, I'm sorry. And they looked at me aghast. I said, I'll get up and I'll do an hour and a half about Salford, but I'm not just doing 10 minutes. So I got up and I did hour and a half, and the guy that was supposed to get up after me was Ian Stewart, the then mayor.
Oh, the mayor, yeah.
And he said to Joan, do you want me to get up and follow that? But I was talking about, it was my city. And I'm talking to people my age. I said, look at you, you posh bugger. I remember you. You got the first mangle, you, in Taylorson Street. Things like that they could identify. And it's true.
Yeah.
Never mind the barefoot days.
Well, you was compare at the Willows for a couple of years, wasn't you? Match day commentator.
Yeah, I did that. I did all that upstairs with the match play. I've met them
Did it
all.
end in tears?
Most days, yeah.
There's a fella there called Ray Hill, and I always called him Madrid. They said, why do you call him that? I said, Ray Hill Madrid. And he went right over everybody's head. I thought, I'm too sophisticated for what was it Ken Goodwin said? I'm too good for this place.
I thought that was a railway system in Real Madrid.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I had some good times there at the Willows, but I had some fabulous. I put some dues on as well for St George's night, and the guy, my guest starters was. I've got it on video now. I'm going to get it transferred. Carl's in the pipeline trying to get a VHS recorder so he can put it onto a stick that goes in the computer.
Yeah, if anybody's got one.
Yeah, a VHS player. We can borrow. We don't want it. We'll borrow it, won't we?
Yeah.
Don't matter if it's a top loader or a front loader. But he's going to do it, and it's my guest artist on the night was Joseph Locke. Now, I used to have a drink with him behind the Mersey Hotel in Burnage in his caravan. He had a caravan there, Joe. And they organised it at the end of the slot. 2 policemen come on stage and handcuffed him and took him off. But it was years ago for tax evasion and all that. Great singer. My heart is broken, but what can I? Some pride inside me has woken. He always said to me,
I'm not surprised the police took him away then.
he said to me, Fred, are you having a drink? He always said that. Yeah. Will you have a drink? I said, will I ever? Yeah. Will you have a drink? He lived in Donegal for a while, but before that he was in Brain in Dublin. Had some great time with Joe Locke. Fabulous singer. And also a big part of the Mancunian films with Blakely.
John Blakely.
And Frank Randall and all that lot. He was in a few Frank Randall films,
He
playing the
was.
Sergeant Major with his pencil moustache.
Somewhere in England and all those.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, fantastic time. Sorry about that, as I digress. Carry on, John.
John,
What was it?
It's like, well, we'll go back to some of the oldest memorabilia we have.
The tie. What's the tie?
Well, that's. Wait your turn. We'll come to that, Fred.
Okay. Oh,
Did
I
you-
thought you
you know,
praised
you-
me for
Stick,
digressing.
stick to the script, will you? Know?
Yeah. Go
As
on.
we ruffle laughing.
We've got
I
this.
better move my knife for cutting the cake. He's getting a bit vicious.
This is an invite from the director to the players at the end of the season to
Yeah.
the end of season dinner. You can see that this is to a McGovern, player McGovern. It's got a Victorian stamp on it.
Yeah.
I'll read it to you. You can see it.
Actually.
It's Salford Football Club. The committee requests the pleasure of Mr. J. McGovern company to the dinner at the Cattle Market Hotel on Cross Lane, Salford, on Friday, 8th of May, 1891.
Ribs and cabbage on the
Yeah,
menu.
yeah.
It was a cattle market.
Going back. And the secretary who sent that was a guy called J. Hickson. Now, looking up the history of it all,
Yeah.
Hickson was a player originally,
Yeah.
became successful in business and became chairman of the club. He also became mayor of Salford, and he did write a book, The History of Salford, which we have.
Can I have a look at his card, John?
Of course you can. Careful with it, get your gloves on.
Yeah.
Yeah, white gloves for that, John.
Don't want
That was the history of Salford Rugby League, which he wrote, as I say, again, very delicate.
That's been well thumbed through that. It's like Flynny's mucky books that he has upstairs in his bedroom. Is there all like that? Aren't they, Carl?
Ones that stick together.
The pages.
What,
Yeah.
what we've got as well, we've got the medals as well that relate to the.
Were they made
club.
in Birmingham, John?
Yeah, I don't know.
By
what it was made
Fattorini,
actually, but, but the solid gold medals, that goes back to
Who was that
19,
presented to, do you know?
1900. We don't know who that was from now. We've got so
You can
much.
present it to me.
Fine.
I'll accept it if it's solid gold. Brilliant. That. Well done. Good close up, that, Carl.
And we got Challenge Cup final medal again, solid
That's
gold.
solid
on
gold,
that,
yeah. Is that the right case for it?
Yes.
Because they normally filled that orifice, didn't they?
It
It
may
says
over
on
the
the
years,
back here,
obviously.
John. H. Shaw, Salford
It's sure,
FC.
yeah, that's in
Cup final
1900.
1900.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
What we do now, we do a heritage certificate for all the players. We have a heritage group that work hard putting it all together, and every player or his family can apply to get a heritage certificate, which is written. It goes back to the.
And who's going to get that for him?
Well, I get it quite a few times. But
John, the
So-
passenger, the carrier.
so there's lots of stuff. The history of Salford. What I've got as well.
Winners medal, 1927.
Solid gold.
To W. Price. That's beautiful.
That'll be
Just
Billy
check
Price,
that before you go, because he'll swap a 10p piece.
He
in
will.
for-
If you can.
Fattorini's in.
Oh, Fattorini's at Birmingham.
Yeah.
The one you got wrong and said it was London.
if you can pass us some stuff over there, I've got some more. We can talk about the history of Salford. It's,
Do you want to get
Hang
down
on.
there, Fred?
you want me to
Pardon?
move or
I've got them.
what's in?
What's
Thank
in the
you.
box?
We should have prepared this, shouldn't we? Really?
An elephant and 2 giraffes. What's in the box? Try not to make it rustle, John.
Okay.
Sounds like you're opening a present for me. It'll be a pair of Adidas trainers bought off Greymale Lane Market for 10 bob.
Got a turnstile.
Again, we've got really old
Wow!
photographs of the club. I think that's Fred in your youth, wasn't it?
That's an
But,
early Stuart Crook photograph, that. One of his sepia ones of his
Sorry.
great
7
grandmother.
Market Street.
Who was the developer then, Market Street? What was his name there, Flynny?
You say Marks or something? I'll tell you a second.
Why did they dress the kids up as Japanese generals and all that lot when they were taking photographs
They
of
had
them?
no money.
Yeah, what does it say there? That
J. Ambler.
probably very
Oh,
famous.
look on his shirt. It says Play Up Salford.
Oh, that's brilliant, isn't
That's
it?
lovely, that, isn't it?
But we don't use that now. We say in Salford, or what did we say?
Was this for a special occasion, John, do you think, or was it?
I honestly, I don't know on that.
Because
to
it's
be
got the
honest,
ball
I'm
on it, says
not,
Play Up. It's got an international cap on. 1889 to 89. So
we've got international caps.
Would that be his father's cap then, do you think? It says Inspector Flynn.
Yeah, well done, Holmes.
It could have been Fred's school cap when he had his haircut.
There's no arrows on it though.
I don't know on that, to be honest.
Oh, I think it is.
But we've so many international caps
Yeah.
ready to be shown, you know, half a dozen or so that go back to the 1800s, which is
I hope you get
Unbelievable.
somewhere to put all this, John, because it'd be a shame. Just me and Flynny and Carl have seen this, and it should be on general view for Joe public, shouldn't it, Flynny?
John, you remember, you very kindly, it must be about 10 years ago, possibly a bit less, you let me go into the museum at the AJ.
yeah.
We want to have like a mock of a wall. didn't
Yeah,
we?
we've got a
So-
Willow's wall.
And there was a walking stick, was it? Oh, Charlie.
walking stick. It was
Charlie Posey,
No.
Charlie
no, it
Chaplin.
was Barney Hudson's
Barney
walking
Hudson's
stick,
walking
yeah.
stick.
Yeah, we've
There's
still
some
got in storage.
fabulous stuff in that
Yeah.
one. And because
You
of
won't believe some of the stuff we've got in storage. It's unbelievable that we can't get somewhere to.
does need to be shown,
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
it? Did you take it around schools or anything like that?
We did do. Going back a few years, I applied to Heritage Lottery for a grant. It was when we was leaving the Willows basically, and we
Yeah.
got the grant. I think it was 48,000 at the time, and we made the Willows Memories film, which you looked at.
That's all. yeah,
That was sad at the end where it said goodbye
Yeah.
from the Willow. Even Flynny, he had a tear in
I
it.
mean, I had to-
Even
I
when I
had to pay
went-
to get in.
He did.
I put it together, but I still get a tear when I watch it. I
Yeah.
don't like watching
I
it. to
know,
be
I could
honest.
see that.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
we left you alone towards the end. We were waiting for the Pappy News to come on.
But what we did as well, part of the grant, we got money to put a museum, like a mobile museum, which we took around
Yeah,
to the schools. We still did that to an extent, but not as much so now. And also the money we actually worked in the schools, and with a local ceramicist, and we did there's a
Rob
mosaic.
Lally.
Pardon?
Rob.
Yeah, Rob Lally, yeah.
Lally and that, Rob.
Yeah,
We interviewed him, didn't we? We did. Rob, you're a lovely man. I didn't know you'd done the mosaic there. You probably told me, but he's
Yeah. Well, we worked
Really
with
nice
Rob,
fella.
and we went to the local schools, and all the kids helped to put a piece of tile
Piece
in
of
it.
tile
It's
in
now
it,
on
yeah.
the site
Yeah,
where
it
the
is, yeah.
Willows used to be, and that was
yeah.
great. So we did well from
community, that,
heritage.
isn't it? Yeah.
But we needed something to keep it alive at the Willows. My cup's bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is interesting from my point of view. These are original templates going back to 1892, 1893 of the directors and the players. Now, my mate was a compositor and he used to work at John Roberts on Chapel Street,
Yeah.
and they used to print the Salford programme for years and years and years. When they was closing down, they was clearing all out, and he phoned me up. He said, "John, I think you should come down and look at this. These are in the skip. I got these out the skip at Chapel Street. I've got a few more at home as well.
Yeah.
But
What are the names of them, John?
you can look at
Are
those.
they team photos as well?
That's team photos. We've got individual photos of directors.
That's why you're a legend, John, because nobody else would have took them out of the
I
skip
would
rat.
have.
That's it.
You would have. Flynny would have, but he's always been a skip rat. Anyway, on the route. What he should have got down to Princess Park on Tuesday when we Thursday, wasn't it, when we all went. Was it what night was it?
Tuesday.
I'd had my teeth out and I couldn't talk, and he's falling
James
about
Hickton.
laughing because I couldn't talk. And I said, you should have got it at our Foods, a Belting charity shop in the Prince's Park, you know, where we were.
And we donate some stuff in there at the time.
Yeah.
We worked. We actually, when we moved out of the stadium, we used to have 2 classrooms in there. We're now at Eccles College.
Yeah.
All the chairs and tables were actually took down there to sell in the store there. Yeah, yeah.
It's a great garden centre.
It's helping hands, isn't it? And
Yeah,
things like
yeah,
that.
it's right, George, yeah.
Yeah. Again, other stuff. I say we're going forever. This
Which you would.
Now then.
Lance Todd tie. Lance Todd, for those who don't know, Lance Todd was a New Zealand guy. Came over, played for Wigan, played for New Zealand. Well-known player. He became manager of Salford during the 30s.
And Andy Gregory won the Lance Todd Award twice.
He won it twice. Yeah.
Did he
Listen.
get killed in a car crash?
He did.
Todd, didn't
During the Blitz, in Oldham, I think it was, he got killed in a car crash. He took Salford the halcyon days,
Oh,
and the
yes.
cup, and
Yeah.
Here's something you might not know. Just hold that tie up in front of you.
Will it fit you?
No, hold it up in front of you.
You're too tight on you.
No, in England, in the UK, all stripes go across the heart down to the right hip. In America, it's the reverse. You have a look on television.
Didn't
Have
know
you
that.
ever see one of these? It goes from the right to the left hip, but ours cross the heart. That's
didn't
an
know
old. I told him that at Dunelm Mill, the fella there that was selling.
Yeah.
He says, "Do you know?" He said, "I never realised that." He said, "And I've been in tailoring all my life." I said, "Well, you live and learn, don't you?"
Well, that goes. People who don't know, it goes to the man of the match at the Challenge Cup final every year.
Whose was that then, John?
These have not been given out yet. We have quite a few of them.
Yeah.
The foundation. It used to be delivered by the Ex-Players Association, which doesn't really exist at the moment. So, 10 years ago, the foundation took over that, and we do a presentation dinner for the guy who wins the cup at Wembley.
I don't ever remember giving one of those ties out when we did hospitality upstairs to Steve Nash or Nathan McAvoy or Steve Rule, Sammy Turnbull,
Well, they're
Never
not
won one.
Lance-Todd winners. They're
You have to win
just
one, don't you?
players.
Dave Harris, Chopper Harris.
No, they
He
never-
was a
He
lad, wasn't
played
he?
for Chelsea.
Who did?
Chopper Alice.
Different one, mate.
But they were told that the Lance-Todd dinner is usually done on the Tuesday night after Wembley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go down to Wembley, present the trophy, then they come and have a dinner in there, kind of, not memory, but
Yeah.
in association with them.
Yeah.
Usually at the Marriott. We've not done it for the last 2 years because of obviously COVID. But it's presented, and Lance Todd, as we were saying, he was killed in a car crash during the Blitz.
I've got
Yeah.
a photo of him, John. You've probably seen it when he's outside Crossline Barracks with the home guard.
Yeah. Well, he was a member of the Home Guard, yeah. And what happened when he was killed, the players all had a collection, and they bought, which is now the Lance Todd Trophy, they bought a cup to be presented, and that's gone on now since 1948.
What a great tribute to the
Yeah.
fellow,
And
wasn't it?
we're still
Yeah.
It's lovely,
carrying that
that.
on as well, yeah.
Yeah.
If if people hopefully will be watching, more than the viewer.
Yeah.
If they've got any old Salford rugby football memorabilia, could they donate it? Would you
Absolutely,
accept it?
lots of people have to be honest. That's where a lot of the stuff has come from. We've had a lot of stuff of our own.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got quite a lot. My dad was a fan
Yeah.
with stuff from, the 1930s, 40s, but with a huge amount that we're trying to find. We need somewhere desperately to show this. We want it as
Yeah, of course.
an
should
event,
be-
not just
so it should be.
a
permanent
museum
exhibition.
Yeah, cafe now where fans can come and club shop and.
Yeah.
So as I say, we have had 3 and we've had to move on. The one at the Trafford Centre Museum, it was brilliant, but it was only there 12 months before they
That's
shut it
it,
down.
isn't
And
it?
Football Museum was in there, Robinson's Brewery's in there, part of the Jewish
They're
Museum was
closing
in
down
there.
Robinson's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great pint of bitter Robbie's, but they're shutting down the brewery.
Right.
Moving
Just like Chester's did. I used to love a pint of Chester's Dark Mile.
Yeah.
Robinson's will still be brewed, but in another location, isn't it? It's just the brewery in Stockport.
It's like Boddington's, isn't it? They used to do the cream of Manchester because they got the water artesian well underneath Strangeways,
Indeed.
and as soon as they moved to Wales, the taste has gone. Wasn't the same, was it, Flynny?
No, I'm just bugging for the camera with that. I was looking, there's an etching on the side, and it doesn't half remind me of when you see these early photos, etchings, sketchings even of William Webb Ellis, who you mentioned, running with a ball. That is incredible.
It's the most valuable item we've got in the
I can imagine.
memorabilia, but some of the stuff had the shirts and the caps.
I think it was a bit soft, that William Webb Ellis. He picked the ball up and ran with it. I'm taking my ball in. It's in my dad's shed and it's locked up. My dad's a copper. Do you remember that as a kid? Go and get your football. I can't. It's in my dad's shed. Load of rubbish. But without him, there would be no rugby, would there?
So, moving on though, then to the Willows.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
please.
most people now. they remember the Willows.
Of course, yeah.
Even if they weren't rugby fans, it was the social point of Salford, wasn't it? It's, I remember it first opened, I had one of my first illegal pints in there, to be honest, but we'll keep that.
How dare you mention that on the Fred and Flynny show? We don't drink, do we?
No.
I had one in there, one in the Cumberland Club where we used to train the Langworthy.
The Langworthy, Harry Lawrence, Harry Lees, Jed Riley, remember them all well.
Yeah.
Langworthy Juniors.
What's your relation with the Langworthy Juniors? Because I got asked a couple of questions, if you don't mind asking them, answering them. Alan Gordon.
Alan, yeah, he used to
He
play.
said, ask John about that memorable game in Paris. What was memorable about that, John?
Yeah, that's going back. I think I was about 19.
You'll always have Paris.
Yeah.
There was actually a team photo on Facebook the other day about it. I've got quite a few going on the plane over there. We flew out of Ashford Airport in Kent on a Dakota, I think it was. That was frightening going on.
Deal Airport, that in Kent on the coast.
Yeah, and then we played in Paris. I've got the poster again. I could have brought the poster. I've got the poster where it's great. As was Great Britain against a French international team. It was Langworthy, and I think the French team had travelled further up from the south of France than we travelled to get to Paris. To be honest,
Tell me you beat them.
Yeah, of course we did. Yeah.
God.
So you see, bonjour, you frogs. Je ne sais pas.
But it was a great weekend, in those to go over there.
It must have been a great weekend because Bryn Hawkins tells me that you saved him from drowning in the toilet.
Well, I don't know that.
Easily done when your head goes down the pan, Flynny. We've all been there.
Flushed.
Well, it was success after that.
Success to that one, wasn't it?
But I remember we went round Paris, went Moulin Rouge. It was fantastic.
Was he there, Toulouse-Lautrec?
I didn't see him. I think he was a.
Do you know that's where the can-can was?
I've got to tell me. I was speaking to John on Tuesday, wasn't it? And you told me, well, you would know. I didn't know it, but I could put it. Diabolo Rouge. I know it means Red Devils, but tell us how the real way it came about.
Well, the story is that when we played in France, we had 7 Welsh players in the team, 6 were in the pack. Yeah. And when they was coming down, they was all speaking in Welsh. We actually battered the French and they said we're the Devils, and they'd speak in the Devils language. And that's where it come from, the Red Devils.
Right.
It's one of the
He used to giving the Welsh a good iron. They all want smacking now and again.
Yeah.
So it's 2 members of the audience.
Mr. Davison, boyo.
Penanda.
Right.
Pananda, that's it. Good day, innit? Pananda.
Because United have been accused, possibly,
of stealing
the name, haven't they?
Absolutely, of course it is.
Yeah. It is great.
But some of this stuff, I mean, the memories I've had out of the game is.
What was your favourite player, or can you not just say?
Colin Dixon when I was a kid. He was.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Great player.
Yeah.
Do you know another thing? There was never any racism shouted on the field in those days. No. I mean, Colin wasn't the whitest of men. But he was a brilliant player.
I think you'd have been silly to shout something racial slur at him, wouldn't you?
You'd be a mug to do it, but nobody did anyway. That's the thing about rugby. Yeah. They can knock holes out of each other, but after the end of the game, they shake hands and walk off the field. Yeah.
Well, he came from Cardiff. He signed for Halifax first, so he signed from Halifax.
Right.
Fantastic player.
Brilliant player.
If you see how Willow's memories film, you actually footage of him in the dressing room. All players are all smoking and buying.
Keep fit regime there.
Hey, and some of them showing the willies.
I cut most of that out, Fred.
Oh, the moil. He cut most of it out. Oy vey. The moil's there, Rabbi.
Well, I give him some good tips, So.
Rabbi Blackburn. No, it was good. That I enjoyed it because I said to you one time, what I've never done is been in the changing rooms at half time. When Salford Reds may have been winning or losing, whatever, I would like to have listened to the team talk. If they were winning, I bet it was all sort of encouragement. If they were losing, I bet there was some bad language.
So you're not getting paid.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I think all coaches have different attitudes, don't they? It's about man management as much as anything. I mean, you can stay somewhere and give them a right ball. Sod you then. And others you have to put your arm around and say, look, exactly. It's like in any business, You have to know your players, don't you?
I'd like to see what he says, that fellow that runs the girls' team England. What's his name? Always on the touchline in a suit. Come on, Flynny.
That used to be Neville. I'm not a fan of ladies. I like ladies football, but I'm not an ardent
fan. Wait for the end of it for him to change the shirts. I know you're dirty, man.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, well, you said it with me. I'm giving it you
John,
back.
hold on. It's the elephant in the room, as they say. Moor Lane, is it going to happen, do you think? Or would you not? You wouldn't know, obviously.
Well, I'm not kind of in charge of that side of it. It
Yeah.
looks like it will happen, yeah. It's going to be a challenge. You know, it takes us forward. Who knows? I mean, it's on the cards, I believe. You know, so.
Yeah.
But you don't know. You can't.
No, you can't say it. It's just that most people are saying to me,
They've asked me as well.
I don't know.
I say, I don't know.
It's one of those how much.
It's an option. It's an option, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
obviously the club are looking into
You're
it.
as broad as we are. You don't know like we don't know. It's just one of those. I hope that something happens. I'd like to
In
see
an ideal
something
world,
solid.
John, I'd have loved to see the Willows stay open. I would, honestly.
Oh, so would
It's an
I.
ideal
yeah,
world, but it's
yeah.
not an ideal world, is it?
Yeah.
I'm,
No,
I'm
it's-
sure all of us and people watching have spent many happy hours, if not in the club, on the terraces, the shed, the chicken end, or what they call it.
Even ex-players.
Yeah.
What do they call it? The chicken run or something, wasn't it?
The shed.
The shed.
Yeah, but I've heard it called back. It's a chicken run. Seriously.
No, you're thinking of KFC.
Oh no.
I think everyone with the
History will
Willows.
prove me right.
Chicken run.
The chicken run.
Did anybody ring in over that telephone number, Carl?
No,
Ah, there you
Well,
go.
we'll have a mug for John then.
Yeah, well, yeah.
We can have the mug, John.
no idea because I don't know what the telephone number was.
634 5789. I'll give you the answer at the end of this. Remind me, won't you? Because I'll forget with my brain fog.
But the Willows, as they
Yeah.
say, great place. It's soon some of the artists from, you know.
Bob
you know,
Monkhouse.
I've seen Bob Monkhouse.
I first made me
Ken
great.
Dodd.
Ken Dodd.
Yeah.
I
The Drifters.
Yeah.
Every
Which
week.
That's where I met
original,
Johnny Moore.
the original or the cousin
Johnny Moore,
Slicer
great
Bird.
singer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him there, became very friendly. Me, him and Ernie Critchley used to have a game of cards in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a great singer. Lovely fella, Johnny.
Well, Ernie played for the club, if you know,
Did
he
he?
played there and he became. I actually, highlight of my career was playing for Salford Reserves, and Ernie was the coach at the time. Yeah,
He was a bit of an hard player, Ernie. He looked like the type.
He was a good player.
Over in Spain now with his beloved
yeah,
wife
apparently,
Joyce.
Yeah.
If you manage to pick this up, Ernie, God bless you. And you, Joyce. Lovely to see you again.
He lived
Hello,
on
Cal.
close to the ground, didn't he? Ernie, as well. He lived on Kennedy Road, I think.
He actually worked at one time for the Stanylands group.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
the
so-
club.
He lived in Wogden. Wogden. He lived in Wogden.
But the Willows originally was part of the Stanyland group. It was
Yeah.
Brian Snape that actually built it. I remember before it was built there when I was a fan, I used to,
Yeah.
it was just a heap of, a mound, piece of grass with the scoreboard.
I can
and
remember the scoreboard. Did you go up it with the give the elevated position of putting the
I used to
the double
hook on,
side?
yeah, on the
Put the hook on
scoreboard.
it.
And we just got half a crown for that,
Oh,
which was quite
I
good.
never got
I'd have
paid.
done it for now. I'd have just put the numbers on and gone like that. You know.
I just got threatened.
Yeah. But the people who spent the, you know, the Willows was
Oh,
something.
I've got some
I met my
incredible
wife there.
memories.
We had our
Yeah.
wedding there.
Did you say what you doing?
Yeah, it should have been almost, you know. Old joke, Fred, old joke.
Yeah.
But no, I had my wedding there, my mum's funeral there.
Yeah.
We used to go there for Christmas dinner every year, you know.
Yeah.
Johnny had
It was-
everything, the
yeah.
Willows.
Casino, got all my bad
Casino
habits there as well.
downstairs, yeah. And then the pub downstairs.
Monday night they used to be the club.
Young
night.
members
I
now,
remember
yeah.
the Monday night. Young
Do you remember
members. I had
the-
my 18th birthday.
The
over there.
VIP cocktail lounge.
Yeah, that was at the back of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
We'd heard of it, never went in it.
Yeah.
Oh, we did. We
Story
had
of
all the mayor
myth.
there. I had Hazel Blaze. No, I shouldn't have put it that way. Hazel Blaze was my guest in the cocktail lounge for VIP members only. Yeah. What's happened to her, Hazel Blaze? You never. She was always at the Salford Reds, wasn't
Yeah, well,
she?
she's
Retired.
she retired and
She's in consultancy stuff,
Yeah.
isn't she?
I liked her. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
people didn't politically, but I thought her and Mike, her husband, I got on great with them. They were lovely. I said one day, I said, "Oh, I like your hair. Have you come any more?" And she never let me forget it. Yeah,
Earned a man in 1966.
probably.
Yeah.
What a burner,
Still
Jack.
opening his crackers, isn't there?
There's only one joke. There's only ever one joke. It's just got variations on it. A comic once told me that, called Johnny Moore. Do you remember Johnny Moore, the impressionist?
Yeah.
He once told me that. He brought out a record called The Pensioners Rap, and I played it on my programme, and it got very, very popular.
God, can I see how?
Oh, it did.
I hate that.
Something about his thing getting hooked up in your surgical stocking with his. Oh, it was funny.
But the comedians used to have the will. I saw all the comedians there. The
Yeah.
Northern, it was
Yeah.
Austin Manning, George
Johnny Amp
Roper,
Productions,
Jackie
yeah.
Carlton, Jack Diamond, all them guys.
Jackie Carlton could have been a big star, and he had his big break at the London Palladium in front of Her Royal Highness, Her Majesty the Queen. And you know the microphone used to come up out of the stage in the centre. Jackie Carlton looked and said, Ooh, even the miners couldn't complain about a rise like that. Ooh. It killed his career. He didn't care. Him and Bunny Lewis.
Golden days
Bunny
of
Lewis,
comedy.
yeah.
They had that shop together in Swan Street down in Manchester. You remember Manchester, that second city of Salford? And they had a shop there, a theatrical agency and all that. I went to Bunny's funeral. Didn't got a jacket. I've been to loads of funerals. I've got to that many funerals, my suit's smelling of boiled ham. What can you do? They're all stuffing it out, they're all dying.
Tom time for
This is what I said the other day. I was talking to Sue yesterday and Murph that they came to see me. I've not seen them for 60 years. I said they're talking about getting old and all that. It's horrible getting old. I said, hey, listen, old age is a privilege extended to very, very few people. And you've got to be glad that you got to that. How many people do you know that died at a young age? Lance Todd for one. You, Flynny, you know quite a few.
The gun went off by accident.
Yeah. But it's all, you know, people that have passed on. Young people.
That starts with cheerful, eh?
I know.
I want to say as well, I mentioned to Lee Murphy. You know Lee?
Yeah.
Lovely lad. He said he'd be watching. I thought he may have sent
Hi, Lee.
a comment in. He's a rumbugger, Lee, isn't he?
Yeah.
Can you remember his dad, Tommy?
Yeah, I do. Well, play on the picture they put on when I went to the Paddy's. When I first started playing for Langley, I was only 15. We went from school, me and my mate went training. He used to train at the Cumberland Club, along the field at the back, but he used to change it.
That'll be Harry Lawrence.
It was Harry Lawrence, yeah. I remember the first training session finished, we're going on, me and mate, where are you going? We're going next door now. So we got a pint, I think it was, again, shouldn't quote, 15.
Sure. Do you know Jimmy Potts?
Don't know.
You know Jimmy Potts.
He's been diplomatic, I think.
I think Jimmy Potts is one of the few Salfordians that I could honestly say is a Salfordian, that kid.
About me?
Well, you play at it, Flynny, but in all honesty...
Play it, you cheeky.
Yeah, but you're from Chelsea, everybody knows that. Don't start being posh.
I'll tell you a story about some of the Salford kids.
Yeah.
Is that true when he goes off
Can I use bad language on
Please,
this?
the brilliant story John told me.
Right.
So,
Many years ago, I never I did to become a coach, but I started coaching kids because when I finished playing at Langley, one of my mates went to play at Earl Hornets, and he said, come down and play there for a bit. I played another couple of years there, but I got involved. I became treasurer, and we got a phone call from it was the Jubilee pub in Odsall. The landlord said, look, there's a few kids playing rugby on a Sunday morning. Will one of your coaches come down and coach them a bit? And they couldn't do it. The coach was tied up. So well, I'll go down. Not so bad. Long story. We finished up. The kids were all from Odsall High School or secondary modern as it was then, and all that 1 year. And we went on to win the Lancashire Cup, which is tremendous. And we beat Leeds Miners, and they said, how could you beat us? Because we was a top team. You've got all ringers in. I have to prove all these kids went to school. They don't believe it, But the reason I kept going, I went on a few weeks, and one of the lads said, oh, wasn't coming 1 week. And he said, but you know, last week one of the guys got picked for Alex Stepney's football team, and he was going to do a tournament in New York, and he wouldn't go because he said, he didn't want to let me down on a Sunday morning. So I thought, how the hell can you? So that's why I continue. He influenced me. People say you've influenced kids. No, he influenced me. So to try and put something back to him, we organised a game against Peckham Pumas.
That's easy for you to say.
Should have got to Wigan somewhere. But we went to Peckham, and we thought, well, we're going to stay in a London hotel, and we went to some fundraising events, and we stayed in the Metropolitan Hotel in London, which is, I think it was 3-star. And
you, Bob.
Because most of the lads don't know about Salford, to be honest. We went down. Most embarrassing parts of my life, I think, in rugby. As we went in to register, the kids was at the desk there, and everyone's there with the designer luggage who was coming in, and I said, John, there's a swimming pool down there. Can we use that? I said, yeah, of course we can. And they all started stripping off into their underpants down, running down there. Oh God, no! So, following morning, we went to a breakfast. Maitre d' at the door at the time. Asked anyone English or continental breakfast. So, good morning, sir. English continental. 2 kids in front of me went in. Morning, gents. English continental. Fucking Salford, eh? I thought, oh no, I didn't what I want. So I walked in behind him. He said, yes, sir, morning. English or continental. I thought, well, I'm fucking Salford as well. But I mean, you talk about memories. I've got some great memories from rugby. It's been book in my life, you know. It's,
Yeah.
That's why I'm not retired yet. I should do.
That's why
No, you shouldn't.
had the
If you
legends on.
if you retired, you'd instantly age, and you'd turn to dust in your jaws, and your eyes would pop out, and you'd dwindle.
If I had your money, Fred, I'd retire. But,
Or you'd melt like the Wizard of Oz, you know, the witch. I'm melting! I'm melting! Sorry, Carl, didn't mean to frighten you then, I know, but because,
Still scares me.
yeah.
Has anybody commented anything rude, scurrilous?
They have, yeah, but it's all scrolled past.
Oh, right.
And
So
gone.
people are
Oh, it
watching.
don't matter.
John.
Yeah. Yeah, when you said Lee Miners before, that they played Lee Miners, is that minor as in coal miner or minor as in under
Coal
21?
coal miners.
Coal miners.
Because as you
Well,
go
Lee wasn't obviously a big miner.
as you
town,
go into
wasn't
Lee,
it?
there's a massive sign when you enter Lee with a pit head. You
Yeah,
know.
it was a miners team. It's the social side of things,
It's
wasn't it?
now the Centurions, is it not?
No, that's the main team. Lee Miner's still going amateur club.
Are they?
Oh, absolutely.
But the lead team's the
It's like St
Centurions.
Patrick's, isn't it? Wigan.
Yeah,
Things like that. They're
yeah, they were all formed basically through.
social culture.
You know,
from the coal mining
work.
thing. Yeah.
I mean, how rugby league and rugby union broke away. It's because rugby union, or it was rugby at the time, but they used to play Saturday afternoons, and the lads had to have time off work.
Yeah.
So in the end, they kind of said, "Look, we're going to have to pay you guys for missing work." Rugby wouldn't have that, so the Northern Union broke away from the rugby union. But it was all about working and
Yeah.
You've played union then, have you?
on league all my life. But my background was in construction. I was apprentice joiner. My
Right.
foreman at the time, a guy called Mark, he was captain of the 5th team at Metrovix, and used to mither me to go down and take a couple of mates from Langworthy to go and play on a Saturday afternoon. At the 5th team, it was really low level.
Yeah.
But I used to put a 10 shilling note in my wage packet every week if I went down.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So.
Bribery!
I know, and corruption, yeah, I took
Right,
it, no
lovely,
problem.
isn't it?
I played both. I played union when I was at Worsley Tech College, and I went for Salford Boys for a trial down at Lower Broughton Road
Yeah.
in about 1963, and a fella called Rakes was the coach, Mr. Rakes. Anyhow, I never got on him. I don't like running. I don't mind getting in a pack and pushing, but I don't like running. So I didn't get on, but that was my claim to fame. But I believe rugby now has become a lot more watchable since the 6th tackle, because it's sped the game up a bit.
It's faster game, yeah.
Yes, a faster game, and
Yeah.
because it used to be bloody boring. Eddie Waring once said it. Going on a bit, up and under, you know, and it sped it up a bit, and it improved the game for me. I thought it was fantastic. But then again, who am I? I'm not a bloody player, am I?
It's even quicker at the moment because of COVID. We don't have scrums at the moment.
I know.
They're coming back.
Can't breathe in the
February,
scrum,
but,
can you?
So it's good game. It's a
You
fast
used to be
game.
able to- you used to
I've
be able
watched.
to-
I can't watch a football game, to be honest. It bothers me.
Oh, yeah.
Puff's game, that. Puff's game football. He watches all that. Man United supports that.
Just don't get anything.
And in
out
there,
of it.
Man City. Are you Man City?
Yeah.
Are you know?
My dad's a City. I can't even say it.
Yeah.
I can't say
You
it.
should support Welsh teams, you being a Taffy.
Oh,
English.
never forgot.
Are you English?
Yeah.
Can I,
Are you not Welsh?
No.
can I
Was you
walk
ever?
out and get
No.
something out of the car?
course.
Did you or have you ever spoke
John
Welsh?
is just going
Yeah.
Where did you learn it from?
Wales, when I lived in Wales.
Sneak out.
Right. Go on, get on with it.
John's just got in the car. He's going to get our bunga. He's got something interesting to show us.
It
All
might
right.
be, it might not.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
anyway, I'd like to
it'll be
say,
money. It'll be money.
Fred, from
Yeah.
Glenn Kennedy, this is your life. Justify it.
Oh, has he done it?
It is family tree. It's all in there.
Is Fanny Fielder in here?
I don't know.
Hang on a
I've been
minute.
told
Yeah, she is.
I'm under strict instructions not to open that, he said. Confidentiality is the name of the
All
game.
right, well, I'll
so,
put it
no,
there.
not for you, for me, when he presented it to me.
So we didn't read it on the way down.
We
honest.
didn't stop over page 93, did we?
Thanks,
mate?
Glenn. Some what
I'll
are you,
have a
mate?
quick look through it.
I said, well, you might be looking over my shoulder.
Read it.
You loved it when Fanny Fielder, my great aunt, was a prostitute,
Oh, it's better. Better.
and my great uncle.
stuff.
Does it get worse than that?
Oh,
so you have looked at it then?
No, we've not.
we just
Well, how do you know? You're not
guessed.
clairvoyant or Claire Rayner, are you? How do you know that then?
We guessed.
X-ray specs.
No.
I'm going to make an example of you, Mr. Flynn.
Leslie Words.
Leslie Walsh from Bexley Square.
Get it open, Fred. Let's have a look at it.
Well, it's confidential.
Well, just say, do you think you've done a good job of it? Because I don't know how these things work.
Please note, this is not for final report, Hollyoak. This is just notes some of the info.
Glenn said it's not the full document, just a few snippets.
Oh, get lost! I'm not showing you that. I'm not showing you that. Get lost.
Friend
I'll
of ours,
look
Glenn
at it after.
John, he's done family trees for us.
Yeah.
And he's started on mine. Oh, he's got a few skeletons in mine, you'd be glad to know.
Oh,
The
I'm
worst one
amazed.
now is apparently on me
IRA.
mother's side. Well, that's
Oh,
on
this
her
is
side.
this is a killer. This. Go on.
Welsh blood.
You're joking. What, one of his followers, the taffy?
Contaminated by a chap in 1856,
Yeah.
Owen Roberts
Owen Moore.
from, well, is it Flintshire? Is Flintshire really in Wales?
Yes.
Yeah, of course
Scousers,
it
isn't
is.
it?
No,
I
Flintshire's
know you got
Welsh.
Flint, but I never classed them as
St Asaph and all that area.
real.
I was in
Real.
Prestatyn last week at the Salford Children's Holiday Camp.
Oh,
we,
yeah.
we took our reserve team down there, team building. Great weekend it was, yeah. But,
Do you remember that joke about that fella that had his willy tattooed and it said Ludo? And
on a
everyone
good day it was
laughing at it.
London,
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah, but I've had mine done and it says real. On a good day.
I'm still real.
The crack of that one at Ludo Van done. It's an old joke, an old gag,
Very
but,
old, yeah, I know
but
it.
you didn't know about the real one, did you?
Possibly.
Ludo, wasn't it?
Ludo was the gag, but the
know,
real
yeah.
one's only 4 letters, isn't it? Do you know, I had some great times in real, at Timor. I used to go in the Palace Hotel on what they call the parade or the esplanade along the front down there. And my mate Colin Riley was a DJ there. I was only 17, but I had some great. Oh, have a drink, don't worry, I'm in the car.
Was
I
it?
can't-"
Tony, was it an MBE Nick Abbott got for the children's holiday
Yeah.
camp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nick,
Well deserved, fantastic job he did on that.
Well,
Nick
Zelda.
actually, we talked about this Odsal team
Yeah.
going to London.
Yeah.
Nick actually played for that Odsal. He was one of the guys
Was he
who
one of
played
the
for
guys?
the Hornets.
Oh yeah.
Hi Nick.
Yeah, well, Nick's sister, his elder sister, he pointed out to me, Zelda is doing a walk for the Alzheimer's Society on the 28th of February. She's doing a 28-mile walk, and she's looking for sponsorship and things like that. And I asked her to come down and talk about it.
Proper Salford lad, Nick.
Yeah, more than
Yeah.
one. Come on.
Well, he's responsible for the Jambutty camp staying open, isn't he?
Never forgot his roots.
Prestatyn.
Oh,
We should have gone through his dues, shouldn't we, in February?
Yeah.
When you were poorly or
Yeah.
something was wrong, when we didn't go. I'd have loved to have gone to that as well.
What was that? I went when it reopened, and I think he got cases to do some of the refurbishing down there. The building company I used to work for as well.
Did you?
Yeah.
I never knew you were a joiner. I've got 2 doors, one hanging before you go.
I have as well.
Do you know that's the
Probably
true fact of the building trade? No matter what you do in the building game, you work like hell and do the thing. You get home, you don't do a tap, do you?
No, you don't.
Are you going to put that door handle up? Well, I'll get round to it, but you never bother at home, do you?
No,
Not
no.
getting paid, are you?
Well, that's it. Well, I don't know. Sometimes you can be paid in kind. And I know Joyce, John's current wife. I say that, keep her mean, treat her keen, keep her on her toes. She's a lovely lady. You never mentioned Joyce today, funnily enough. She's a nice
That's
person.
not
isn't she?
mentioning me either.
How many years you been with her?
I could do the old joke, I've been happily married 40
I
years
know,
and
I
the
know.
other 6 have been murdered, but we've about 44 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's coming up for you, what's the 50th? Silver? No, that's the 25th.
That golden is 50, isn't it?
Queen Silver Jubilee was 50 years, wasn't it?
Hey, there are other jubilees, the platinum jubilee's coming up, isn't it?
Going back to what you
Congratulations,
mentioned
man.
before, anyone got any memorabilia to
Yeah,
give to the
please
club?
do.
One guy, Dave Burrows, massive fan, known as Budgie, he made a donation to us a couple of years ago, and the kids love it when they come
Didn't
round.
Budgie be a mask at one time?
Possibly, I don't
Didn't he
know.
dress as a duck or something?
Possibly, lots of people have done that.
Yeah, I seem to remember.
But he actually gave us
Do you know?
the rattle that is what he gave us Budgie, and the kids, when the kids come round, they love doing it. Turnstile and this, the kids, that's all they want to know, to be honest. And, but
That's
is
a lot of that.
the original rattle.
It's got a bit of gaffer tape on there, you know?
Yeah,
probably
it's quite old.
Do you know they were originally for ARP wardens?
Yeah.
I was just going to say that, yeah, and
Well, scaring birds in the fields.
Yeah.
but in the First World War in the trenches, they
Yeah.
used to have these when there was gas attacks all the time.
Yeah.
Obviously after a war,
Still
it
got
come
a good
back.
rattle on it, hasn't it?
It's really old, yeah.
Do you remember Walter Brennan? Why, you no good shite, why did Sharon Trump shoot you for your guns can clear leather?
Yeah.
An old cowboy.
You
Yeah.
got the telly last night, Stumpy in Rio Bravo.
That's him, he was. Well, he actually had that voice because he was gassed in the trenches in the
Yeah.
First
He
World
said
War.
something
It
on
left him with that
wasn't it?
vocal.
D
Yeah.
something, 5.
I think it was one.
Salford 5,
No, I think it was.
Ordsall.
It was actually an official rattle ford used during the
Yeah, they
the
were.
Rage, yeah.
That'd look well up here on my ceiling, wouldn't it? Show them the ceiling, Carl. Just pan up there and look at that ceiling. I put that up there initially for John to look at while we were making love, because she always used to say there's cracks in that ceiling, so I thought I'll sort her out. So I put all them pieces of memorabilia. There's Henry Cooper's gloves up there that he gave me. There's Lord
Round it up, John. Round
Sorry,
it
Fred.
up.
Yeah, it's
I've got a nice piece of memorabilia, John, for you. A lovely chap, Jimmy Rushby. We filmed him for Salford Online, and he had memories of Salford. I say he was a chap who was at Hiroshima. I've mentioned him, but he was Jimmy Lomas.
Yeah, Jimmy
He knew Jimmy Lomas from Salford.
Yeah, one of the iconic going back.
Ages ago.
Yeah. 1902.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Jimmy's that age, he remembered him.
Right.
And he used to travel with the players on the old Sharrobanks. But he gave me a piece.
Sharrobanks.
That's what they call it.
I know. How old are you, Flynny?
Anyway, he gave me this printed leaflet about something about the curse had been lifted off Salford when they won the cup in '38.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a lovely piece. And I meant to get it today.
Not seen that,
I've got it in the house, John. And I said to you, Nick, when we got in the car driving away, he said, I forgot Fred's birthday card. I said, and I said, any consolation, I've left John's memorabilia. Where can I drop it off you, John?
At our house.
Because he lives
No, it is
on
posh
Eccles
houses.
Old Road, very posh, you know.
It is,
He's
John,
had a good
isn't it?
fiddle with the Salford City Reds over the years, you know. There's been a bit of palming and bunging.
Terrible thing to
If
say.
I'd
I know, but
if I'd
it's
stayed as a site agent, I'd be about £500,000 better off now.
I know. That's the wonderful thing about you, John. A lot of people don't realise it, but you do it more for the love than the
That's
cash.
the passion song, yeah.
Yeah. That's why you've kept
There's
that
never any
picture.
cash.
I know. Unless it's coup cash.
No cash.
And you're right there.
Yeah.
Never any cash. But what the hell? Doesn't matter, does it? You've enjoyed doing what you're doing.
There's that many generation of kids, though, John, will remember you, won't they, in the future?
No,
as
they'll
well.
remember him.
The
Flynny.
trouble is,
That's
yeah,
what I'm
we
saying.
said
They'll
that
remember
before.
him.
That's what I'm saying, they
They come up and
remember it.
say, hiya John, you alright?
And you're thinking, oh,
of course it
look
is.
at that.
It's
Yeah.
like school teachers.
Yeah.
You know, the children they teach, years to come, they're a bit of them.
Yeah, but teachers are good at memory. With John, he's treated that many coaching, different kettle of fish. But with teachers, you are sat in a class with them all day, looking at their face. You
Yeah,
remember
you
the
got it,
name,
yeah.
you know. But when it's players and that, I bet they talk to you and say, "Oh, are you John?" And you're playing for time, hoping someone will give you some information who they are.
You don't really, you try that, yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
don't
yeah.
really that long ago. It's like one guy, he's coming back from Wembley on the train, used to play for the Hornets,
Yeah.
Stuart Shovelton. Sorry, Shove, for mentioning your name, but
Who's that? Stuart Shovelton?
Stuart Shovelton, yeah.
Stuart,
fullback he was,
the
yeah,
Stuart
yeah,
Shovelton,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Shove
Yeah.
Shovey baby.
Short escape from.
Unplug it.
What was on train coming back, was talking to him. He said, I don't know what he was saying, but he said, John, how old do you think I am? Like, I always saw him as like a 16-year-old kid playing
Yeah.
football for us. I said, he said, I'm 52. I'm 52. I've got a daughter at uni and all that. You think you don't realise how old
I know.
flies,
Time
yeah,
flies,
yeah.
doesn't it? Alan Henry Whitehead was here the other week talking about stuff and that, and he mentioned Manchester Skips had helped him out.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, that's worthy. I'll give him a ring. So I rang him up. Said, can you have a skip at the bottom of the garden? He said, you can do what you want. It's your property. So I went for a skip.
Jocks are getting
I know. What there? What do you want? I'm 73 now. Chunky baby.
What's the most memorable game you've seen, John? Could that be narrowed down, do you think?
Most memorable game.
Rugby, obviously. Salford.
Do you want a question on sport?
Memorable, not for good reason, is the Wembley 2020. To go to Wembley and sit and watch your team play, and
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
only 100 people
there.
around you.
That's more out of pride than enjoyment, though. I think Flynny means what's the most enjoyable game
I
you've
was at the Willows. Not,
I enjoy all the games, Fred.
I was at the one with a 2-2 draw.
Against
That
Oldham.
match, yeah.
Yeah.
Rough Yeds.
Yeah.
I took my mate. I said, you'll enjoy it. He was from Hereford, Rugby
yeah,
Union
yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
I said, you'll really enjoy this. I
Yeah.
chose the wrong match
Remember that
there.
game, yeah. No, there's so many, you know. I mean, I've been watching them.
I'm just showing you these, Carl, because these are
There's also
slugs.
tablets that I said to get.
No,
for
these
free.
are these are 2-2 slugs, because Flynny and I, being in the 70,
Robbery
our
game.
7th decade, we still swap things. Now I wanted an Eagle annual off him, but he wouldn't swap it me. But he swapped me his Wayrock slug gun for my Webley Junior, and I give him these to go with it. And it's that long since I've had it. I forgot it was 177. I give him these 2-2s, And he rang me up, he said, "You give me the wrong slugs." I said, "Well, bring them back and I'll exchange them." He's just after keeping these and getting a 177 cachet of ammunition in. But we still swap things.
He thinks the Germans thinks the Russians are coming. So
Mark Duffy's on there.
Do you remember when we played marbles as kids?
Yeah. Alice.
There was one called Chinks Oli where you put a hole in the ground and you had to get and you were no dobbers allowed, no bottom
Not the
washers.
big ones, no.
No, none of that nonsense.
The
And they used to have
metal
another one. Do you want to come on a Vimto badge, 3 bricks? And you're counting out 3 stones, but your mate who had the badge, you always look for the biggest flags in the street. And he stuck that in there and you had to go and flick them up. And when all your marbles had gone and you hadn't hit it,
Marbles had gone.
yeah. we all
I
go
know
through
it
that.
feels.
He'd say to you, "I want my keg," so he'd throw you one back and you fire that and miss again. Me scunny, and he'd give you that back, and your keg scunny, and your last one pricey. So there were those 3 that were like.
We did ring it. You made a ring and you put all.
Yeah,
That's
concentric-
Chinks Oli.
Is it?
concentric
Yeah.
circles.
Oh, he was.
We dug up. Well, we had soil. Must have been tough on those cobbled granites. No, they're not cobbled. They're sets.
Sets,
And
yeah.
they always say the cobbled coronations. It's not cobbled. It was granite sets, and they're not there anymore. If you look at the old.
You nicked them, didn't you?
Yeah.
It was a
Bottom
fortune.
in front, yeah. Oh, £1 a piece now. Granite blocks like 4x4, £1 a piece. All mine's done in pink. I got mine from somewhere in Wigan. Paid a fortune for them. But they're. We used to stick a lollipop sticking on hot weather and make a ball on the end of it and throw it at somebody's napper who you didn't like. Like boom. Do you remember?
No,
Didn't you have tar in
My
the
dad
streets?
told me about it, didn't he?
Yeah.
Usually it melted, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
We wasn't.
And you had to
we
use
weren't roads
margarine.
like that.
You had to put margarine on your fingers to get it off after, because we didn't have turpentine.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you went in and you banged your head, your mum would say, "Come here," and she'd rub butter on your head. On a lump. That didn't
Butter?
can it?
In Salford?
Sorry, margarine. It was starch.
Sure, no.
I don't know.
Oh, we had some accounting who was posh.
Oh, he had Echo, 8p halfpenny, the cheap
I'm
one.
still getting it.
And your mum would rub it on there. And if you got a burn, she'd rub grease. The worst thing you can do if you get a burn is rub grease on it. You won't constantly flowing water on a burn. But they didn't know, did they?
What school did you go to then, John?
Approved.
Hopal.
Was that
Is
Mrs.
that
Iverson there?
Catholic school?
No.
What was it Mrs. Iverson?
No, it was Victor Tomlinson.
Tomlinson. Yeah, he was a good historian.
He was
mate.
I've got a lot of his books.
He
Yeah,
was the chairman of the
Hang
Victorian
on a minute.
Preservation
What school
Society.
did you go to?
Somewhere in Wales.
Oh,
Pontimelian.
Oh, fine.
Pie.
He was an old pie lad.
Mrs. Iverson.
No,
Still to this day, that woman.
I was right, Mrs. Iverson.
Still to this day, that woman. She remembers every single one of the pupils.
I know,
that
that's
went
what I
through
said
that
about teachers. They're looking at you all day. It's imprinted.
And I remember, like, before it changed to Vialdi, it was Shopping Giant on the height. And I was in there, and I was trying my hardest. I spotted her out the corner of my eye. I was trying my hardest to avoid her to get out quick before. And I was walking down one of the things. Me and my mum were in there, and I heard Carl Davison. And I spun round, and honestly, God, it was like I'd gone back to school
Did
again.
you really
And I
span
was
round, or did you spun round or spin round?
Spun.
What was she, a store detective?
Yeah.
Shoplifting again, was you?
I had some lard in my
Wasn't
pockets.
it the Co-op before it was Shopping Giant?
Yeah.
It was the Co-op on the height, wasn't it?
No, didn't it change to Shopping Giant, and then didn't it change to the Co-op?
It might have done. I know it was
And then
one of the names.
it went to Aldi. But honest to God, even after all this
Mrs.
time,
Iverson, she was
She remembered
well
your
known
name.
related
Oh,
to that
I know.
school.
and she still scares the hell out of me.
He was.
And then I saw her. I saw her at a
Yeah.
community committee meeting once,
Yeah.
and she's still exactly the same. Formidable.
Do you want us to send the boys round?
Would you like a slice of this?
She'd make mincemeat out
Oh,
of
why
them.
not? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a
Mr.
lovely
Tomlin's
woman, Mrs.
Cake,
Iverson.
then,
Mr.
Pardon?
Tomlinson, he's
We'll have a
still.
slice of cake.
No, I can't.
He used to wear
I
his
can't. No
motorboat.
teeth. I can't
Sean
eat it.
wants some.
I've got some other cake.
Oh, yeah, I mean, John.
He's
Load
saving
of
it.
false
Yeah.
pretences.
Well, it's not that. I've got the fizzer that goes on the top, the sparkling.
Oh,
that.
look.
But what I'll do is I'll save it because you can save cakes for ages. I'll save it, and when I've got me implants
I'll have a
done in-
Ferrero Rocher instead.
Yeah,
as
have a
well.
Rocher. Yeah, Flynny, you have one of these.
His dad's a copper and he's got it locked away
in
in
his
his shed.
shed. Yeah. Do you want a Ferrero Rocher throwing down?
No.
Tomlinson, he used to wear the motorboat.
If I throw it round, promise me you won't span round with enough.
Span round and grab it.
Have you enjoyed yourself today, John? I wait till you got the chocolate in there to see if your teeth were real.
We got to know a bit
I
about
looked
you.
today and then I came here and it's been alright, but
It was all
Bit
pink
down
clouds
low.
and roses till you turned up on my doorstep. No, it's a pleasure to see you, John, and it's lovely to talk about Salford City Reds. I know rugby doesn't appeal to all of our viewers, I know that, but it's what's gone on in between the rugby that's funny, the stories in that. But to put it down, I mean, he's made an appeal. He's looking for somewhere to put all this stuff so that Joe Public, the real rugby enthusiast, can say, I've got a book in the car, you can have it with pleasure. But it's that thick and it's all about Swinton Lions. No,
I'll have it and we'll put it on fireplace to keep the kids away from fire.
Was there any rivalry between Swinton Lions and...
It's not a great deal. I mean, when I was a kid, I used to hate Swinton because they used to batter us. Every time we played Swinton, it'd be 40-50 nil and that.
Stopford,
Swift,
Fleet,
Yeah.
Albert Bland.
Albert Bland.
Cowers, yeah.
When I was at the pit at Agecroft, one of the players was there, Graham Rees.
Graham Rees. Well, he came to Salford as well.
Yeah, and he used to train running up. Do you remember the big towers, the concrete towers at Agecroft? He used to train running up the steps to the top and down again, doing it once more in his lunch half hour.
Yeah.
Did it in half an hour.
But the rivalry then, like you went to Hull Pie, I keep saying Hull Pie. You used to have a Salford boys team, but there used to be a Swinton boys rugby team as well. And the rival between that was.
Oh, Paul, do you remember Jed? No, it wasn't Jed. That was Riley. His name was.
Jed Riley used to play for Langley on the wing. Yeah.
Yeah, no. This was a big, tall, blonde-haired lad, about 14 years of age from Hope Hall. He used to be on the rugby team because you had a rugby team and we played him. We were St Thomas's. Big, tall lad. He must have been 6 foot. Riley, his name was. And there was another one called Motterzed. Brian Motterzed.
Well, no, that'd be after my time, I think.
No, it wouldn't. You're the same age as me. It'd be our
Your
time.
dad would have told you, John.
Yeah, no, it was our time because I'm 73.
I knew Jeff
February the
Riley,
1st.
who went to
Jed.
I knew Jeff Riley, who went to
Jed Riley.
Hull.
You mentioned
I know Jed, yeah.
Harry Lawrence before we
Get into
talked.
them
I worked with Harry Lawrence at Lancaster and Tongue. We were in the foundry.
To open that cake, get into them.
Yeah, I have some of these. These are Joe's. She won't.
I bought them.
I might take them all.
Yeah. No, you bought the first box. She bought more since then, Flynn.
That's it.
She can put. Do you want one of these red ones here, Carl?
I'll have a Ferrero.
There's alcohol in them red ones.
Here
Is-
comes
oh,
the
it's right
Ferrero.
there.
I'll throw you another.
Hang on, I've got it. It's fine.
Have you? You can have two if you want.
Promised meat
Go
paste
lad.
butties, no.
What would you want?
I thought it was lunch on what?
Meat paste butties.
Not
No,
had a drink.
She's put some butternut squash soup on there and a crusty loaf there for after we finished.
Was that left over from last week?
No, it was at X. It's brand new, and because I've had my teeth out and I couldn't eat anything, she's done some soup. I've been on soup and porridge. Yeah, I just pee now. That's all.
Blood.
Oh, I've had that. That's one of the. I said that, didn't I, at the COVID meeting. All these symptoms. It's bleeding out of my ear, then it's bleeding out my odd trick, and all that nonsense.
People are tuning off now, you
I
know.
know, just say this.
I don't care. I want people.
Actually, more people coming on, keep it up.
I want people to know about long COVID and that the group that Joe set up down at Prince's Park every Wednesday at 4 o'clock. We were there the other night watching John's excellent film on Salford City Reds. We watched that, didn't we? So it's not all about whinging and going on about your ailments. It's cross section.
Office at college.
Right. No, it'd be nice if you'd sell them to make money for the foundation. Or...
Which, no, I say we did sell them originally.
Yeah, John. There's another Rashero there. I can see.
I'm
you.
alright, mate.
Oh,
Are you sure?
He's
Yeah, I'm on
Are you watching your
mate.
figure?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Body's a temple, mate, yeah. Don't say Taj Mahal, 'cause, you know.
Yeah, that was the Taj Mahal was built by Shah Jahan for his girlfriend Mumtaz, and they put the minars either side of the Taj Mahal are built 1 degree out of perpendicular, so that should they ever crumble, they fall away from his beloved Shah Jahan's tomb in the Taj.
Nice of him, though, to build her own curry place, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think that's a different
And
Taj,
a
but
big-
that was the one in Eccles, wasn't it? The one you're on about.
and the bingo hall, the Mecca.
Yeah, the Mecca.
Man, it's-
Have you been to India, Flynny?
No, never.
Have you ever been, Carl?
No.
Beautiful place, lovely. Been all over India and all over Pakistan. I love it. I just like it. Nice way of life. None of this rush that we all do and all that nonsense. It's brilliant. And I liked America and Africa. Worked in Africa for a bit. Yeah, had some good times when I look back. That was when I was on this ivermectin, and it was fine. Everybody else had diarrhea or dysentery and all that lot, and I'm on this ivermectin and I'm clear, no problem. And I was taking it and I didn't have any problem with COVID till I went in hospital, and they took the ivermectin off me and said it's not licensed for use in the UK, we're locking that away, you can have it when you leave. I said okay. So they took it away. A week later, I've got COVID because they sent me up to Wigan for this heart thing. I went in with a heart attack, come out with long COVID. What sort of a deal's that?
Not bad, really, is it? You know, he had this heart attack, John. I'll tell you the truth. He tried drinking a pint of gin. Remember it, Carl?
Oh yeah.
With, I guess, Mike Duff, the poet.
Aye, Mike Duffy made me out.
Still reckon he
You're
slipped
not
polonium
drinking
in
that
it.
gin. I'll drink it.
Sucked a bottle of it
The bottle's on
in
now.
one hit.
No, you know, the heart attack.
We'd
nothing
always
to do
ring
with
it.
that. Nothing, was it?
I know it was an
You never told me that, Fred. You told me that.
He went out for a curry afterwards and a large vodka.
Yeah.
And then he had the heart attack.
Yeah, I did.
In
I was
no
on
way are
vodka.
they related.
So it was definitely the
I
curry
might
then that
Willows.
caused it.
It was the curry that caused it. It must have been the curry. No, it was. It was definitely. I drank that pint of gin that Flynny wouldn't touch, and then I went.
More sense.
I was supping Cobra, that Indian beer, and then I went on vodka tonics. No wonder I was poorly.
Good lad.
I'm a fool to myself. I should have. It's at times like this that I'd wished and listened to the advice my mother gave me when I was 12 years of age.
Don't play with that Flynny.
No,
What was the advice for him?
I don't know. I didn't listen.
Oh, well, you see.
That's what I
There
said.
you go.
I never listened to her.
Would have been fine if he would have stuck to the Guinness.
Well, would have been.
Well, that's why I've gone on it now. Give me heart a chance. All we are saying is give Fred a chance.
It's a health drink now.
You're supposed to rub it on, Fred, not drink it.
It'll get through.
Well, I don't know whether Mike Duffy is watching, but I've been on the original today, haven't I? No, I was on the draft one.
I brought you some.
Oh yeah, look at this. Is there a nicer sound? Other than when you open a bottle of wine. A nice bottle of Chateau Neuf de Pape. I'll
Right,
get
boys
some.
and girls. It's 3:45.
He's got.
I'm going to go and get fed up
John's well
Hey,
pleased,
we're getting on our own nerves, me and Flynny. You know what we're like. Where are you going? You've got something on.
We're going to Warrington tonight. It's Lee Mossop's testimonial. Warrington Wolves are playing Salford Reds. So we've got
All right.
some of our reserves playing, some of the local lads. So
Want to make a forecast?
get down there.
Plug it, John. Plug it.
It'll be a great game to go and watch.
Oh, it's very diplomatic, that, John.
Well, we don't know the teams. It's quite a few young lads we're putting to give them a chance, experience.
Listen, me and Flynny will always lace up. Carl's a bit gone at the game. He supports Wellesley Pool and all that lot. But Flynny and I always lace up and help you out.
Don't leave us in the dressing room.
Well, we're looking for some old heads, but you know, on
Taking the mickey bit.
Old
like,
ends.
yeah.
Now, he said something about the chicken thing and you didn't know anything about it, but you just mentioned old ends. You mentioned chicken, didn't you, before about Salford Reds?
The chicken end, or the chicken run.
Yeah,
Chicken run.
that's right, because there was a foul on the pitch, wasn't there? And,
Sorry. These are the yolks.
sorry.
They're all poultry
I'm
jokes.
just going
aren't
to
they?
say that. It's, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Well, it's
anyone
good.
remembers the chicken run.
Well, if you're pecking me head in now.
Oh.
Hey, where would you be about without a laugh? Here.
Be at home.
Yeah.
All right, we're wrapping up.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
for the
us.
invite.
Thank
I've
you,
really
John.
enjoyed it.
Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for bringing all this wonderful memorabilia in.
Yeah,
It's
we'll have
fabulous.
that cup.
Sorry about Fred's jokes, but you know.
Yeah, I know.
We'll see you next week.
I've got to give him some
hopefully.
slugs. Yeah, what do you mean, hopefully? Why? What have you heard?
Yes.
Is it about me? Have you been in touch with the hospital?
They
Don't feel
just,
well.
just bought you a bottle of gin, Fred, haven't they?
This will see you on. I'll see you off.
Best before 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Let it down you. Okay, wrap it up. Cheers.
Ta-ra,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.